It is so good to see you. Welcome to KREM News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin with this big presidential election news today. The Democratic ticket is set. Vice President Kamala Harris picking Minnesota's governor to be her running mate. Natalie Brand reports now from the White House.
Vice President Kamala Harris has made her biggest decision yet as the official Democratic presidential nominee, selecting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Last week, Walz spoke about his chances of being Harris's number two.
Whatever she wants is it in this moment, and just to be candid, to put a ticket together that wins in November.
The 60-year-old former high school teacher is in his second term as governor of Minnesota. He previously represented the state for 6 terms in the U.S. House and served in the Army National Guard. Walz led Minnesota during the pandemic and unrest following the police killing of George Floyd. Some political watchers see his selection as a way to appeal to moderates in the Midwest and key states that could decide this election.
Tim Walz is going to be, I think, very critical and crucial to moving some of those disaffected Republicans and those independent voters, creating a permission structure for them to support Kamala Harris.
Harris had not made a final decision as of last night. We're told her team printed multiple versions of campaign signs for tonight's rally in Philadelphia to be prepared no matter who she chose.
The campaign stop in Pennsylvania kicks off a battleground state swing across the country. Former President Trump's running mate J.D. Vance is on his own battleground tour, also starting in Philadelphia.
Now we have Tim Walz, but again, most importantly, we have Kamala Harris. Her policies have been a disaster, and they will remain so if the American people give her promotion.
As the Trump campaign works to put Minnesota in play this November, it's released a statement calling Walz a, quote, dangerously liberal extremist. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And today is primary election day here in Washington state, and there are several key races on the ballot, including the governor's race and Congressional District 5. So if you haven't voted yet, don't worry, there is still time. Voters need to have their ballot postmarked or in a ballot drop box by 8 tonight. On your screen now are a few of the drop-off locations here in Spokane County. So whether you are using an official county drop box or USPS box, you need to check the last pickup time on the box. Also a reminder, you do not need a postage stamp when using a ballot drop box. And you can find a full list of those drop box locations. We posted that on our website at KREM.com. All right, meteorologist Thomas Patrick, he is standing by. And Thomas, we want to know what the weather will be like this afternoon and early evening as voters maybe are thinking about getting out and dropping a ballot.
Yeah, I wouldn't change any plans around the weather today, Laura, but I just want to make sure everybody is aware that I did have to add an isolated thunderstorm chance into the forecast for today. This wasn't expected as of a couple hours ago, but just after 10 a.m., all of a sudden a storm decided to pop up right over the Palouse, even though the energy wave is like over Alberta and way out of the way. So a little bit of a surprise here, but want to make sure that I account for this. Let's zoom in on some of these little rain cells. It moved over Potlatch. That's got the heaviest rain right now, and that little thunderstorm cell now moving to the east of Highway 95. Looks like Colfax also got some rainfall. Check the camera image there. It didn't actually look all that wet, so it might be that situation where the radar is seeing the rain way up in the sky. It's just a question of how much was actually hitting the ground. Could be some very large raindrops, though, kind of like what we saw yesterday. There is a thunderstorm cell that's south of Ritzville, east of Lynn, but it's not really hitting anything right now. And it is moving parallel to I-90, so it isn't even going to move over the interstate, at least not at the moment. But it is just something on our radar, quite literally. So like I said, I just added maybe 1 or 2 thunderstorms into the mix. But I wouldn't necessarily plan around that because we're still at like 95% plus to stay dry for today. It is actually quite dry, quite sunny right here in Spokane with that high temperature of 92 degrees. But coming up, we'll give you the latest computer modeling on where these storm cells might be heading to just account for that today and show you that extended forecast coming up.
Right, Thomas, thank you very much. So if you are new to Washington's primary or just need a refresher, we are walking through how winners will be decided. KREM 2's Brendan T. Jones shares what we should know about the certification process.
Yeah, well, once the polls officially close tonight, we're going to see some of those unofficial results start to come out around 8:15 p.m. But after that, over the next several days, we're going to see all of the workers inside of the elections office doing a lot of hard work making sure every single vote is counted to get the election certified by August 20th. So that's all the information we really want you to know at that point. But then again, there is a lot of more work. There's a lot more details that go into it than just knowing that they're getting all of those votes counted. So while that process unfolds, you can check the status of your ballot in VoteWA, Washington's statewide voter registration database. When your ballot arrives at the elections office, the barcode that is on the outer envelope is scanned. After scanning it, it will update your voter record in VoteWA and your status will say received. This way, it will prevent anyone from casting more than one ballot. Right after Election Day, local election officials will check to make sure the voting systems are counting each vote correctly. And as ballots arrive, local election officials will keep detailed records of the steps taken to process each ballot or group of ballots. A final report is made at the end of the process, which includes a summary of how many ballots were received, how many ballots were counted, how many ballots remained with the challenge status and rejected by the county canvassing board. Comparing the number of ballots throughout the process ensures that every ballot is received and handled properly. So, of course, we're here today on Election Day, but tomorrow morning, you also want to make sure you tune in because we'll be back here at the elections office watching as some of those votes go through that entire process and get counted. But for now, reporting here at the elections office, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Brandon, thank you. And make sure to watch KREM 2 News tonight at 10 and 11 for the very latest results, again, for Washington's primary. And then tomorrow we will have complete primary election results right here on KREM 2. Of course, Up with KREM beginning at 5 to 7 a.m. on KREM 2 and then 7 to 9 a.m. on KSKN 22 as well. And if you want more information about today's primary, just text the word election to 509-448-2000. We'll send a link with all that information right to your phone.